Bryn.
Hey everyone, welcome to Fine Prep Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Tiffany Fine. I'm still trying to figure out exactly the direction that I want this all to go. And I figure it's going to morph into its own thing. That's what I've been told by other people. I would love to get into some of the crazy stories that have made me who I am. I feel like I have naturally some skills that I've gained through the most obscure ways possible that I want to share with you. Story time is some of my favorites. I'm going to share a really crazy story with you and just bear with me, right? Okay, so this story is specifically about being kidnapped. How many of you have been kidnapped? Anyone out there? Are you just sitting around like hanging out? If you have, please share your story with me because I want to hear about it and I want to hear how you got through it. I was engaged to the president of a motorcycle club and I was 18. On my 18th birthday, this man took me on a motorcycle ride and I was an absolute disaster at that point in time. I mean, I had been on the streets since I was 14. I'd got like tons of weird situations and crazy stuff. So on my 18th birthday, when he asked me if I wanted to go on a motorcycle ride, I was like, hell yeah. This guy was an outlaw. It was, for those of you that don't know, the 1%, they call them the 1%, those are the criminals. And then the other 99% of motorcyclists that have clubs, those are just like cool dudes that like to ride together. The 1%, bad guys. So this guy was part of the 1%. He was the sergeant at arms at the time because they have all these tiers and they have these cuts and everything. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. He was 33 and I was like, yes, let's go. So we go on that motorcycle ride and that motorcycle ride lasted me, I think it was like a year and a half of just absolute madness. We're talking like fast cars, fast life, lots of money, lots of drugs, lots of crazy things. Well, I was quite mousy back then. But I am still I know when to and when not to most of the time now. I did not then. So my big mouth got me into some situation with him where he was not happy with me. So I went into our storage locker where they kept all of their bylaws, all of their cuts, all of their patches. And it might not sound like a big deal to you guys, but you do not touch club property under any circumstances unless you are a club member. So the president of that motorcycle club had actually died, and the rumor was that he killed him because he wanted to be pregnant. I don't know if that's true. Pregnant. Did I say pregnant? President. He wanted to be president. So, I don't know if that's true or not true. It very well could be. He wound up becoming the president, and then we got in a fight, and I went to the storage locker, and because he was the president, he had all of the stuff in our storage locker, and I went in and I took it all because I was mad. He took my car and left me with his truck, and I wanted my car. I drove a very nice Mustang GT, and I wanted my car. So again, probably not the right person to test those, limits with, but I did. And he caught me. We went on a high-speed chase on the freeway in San Diego, in Oceanside, actually. And once he cornered me, he ripped me out of the car. And he had been cheating on me. That's not a new thing, that lifestyle. They screw whoever they want and do whatever they want. So he had been cheating on me, and he had the girl that he was cheating on me with him. And he ripped me out of the car, took me to some field, and then duct taped me to a chair and had clippers and gave them to her and said that he was going to let her shave my head bald. And I mean, all of the women out there know, like, that's no joke. Mess with the girl's hair. And I was absolutely devastated. Well, a guy that we knew that was a friend of the club, he had somehow wound up there. I don't know how, someone called him or something. it all moves very fast when you're in those situations. So he actually released me and I ran into someone's like apartment complex and hid behind a dryer. And they were looking for me everywhere, like everywhere. And they didn't wind up finding me, and I wound up getting away, and I wound up getting to my best friend's house. And, and that was just, I mean, things like that weren't that abnormal at that point in time. I was running really hard, really fast with like all the wrong people. And at the time, I didn't like it. And I would have moments of clarity every once in a while where I was like, this is not the life for me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But at that point in time, I didn't know how I was going to get away, especially when you get so deeply involved with all of that. So, he wound up going to prison, and I was able, I never spoke to him again after that. I think maybe years later, his son went to school with my niece that I had custody of, and like we had crossed paths, but it was so long after, um, like years and years and years after. But those, it's funny because those types of stories, like that, I mean, if I can go through that, I am not scared of any boardroom, any executive. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what you do. I don't care how cool you think you are. I don't care how much you think you know. Like, and mind you, I put myself back through school. I didn't get my degree, but I wanted to make sure that I had an education. I took business management, accounting, introduction to paralegalism, criminal litigation, civil litigation, because I was toying around with the idea of law. So it's not like I'm completely uneducated when I'm speaking to these executives, but there's like a level of me that I don't think anyone else could even match, which is like, I will, for one, I'm going to get it done. Always, always, always. Like, and I will figure it out. I am I tell my boss all the time, and he jokes, he calls me the machine. And he was like, he sent me an email. He's like, La Machine. You ask me for something and you say, oh, you can, and don't, it's not a rush. Get it to me in a week. You have it the next day. Like it is game on. Let's go on to the next task. And I believe that a lot of that is developed through all of the chaos. Like this is easy. Let's just get it done. Let's figure out a way to get it done, find a solution, and move on. But that type of situation where you're just being kidnapped and you're in all of these, like, with 33-year-old and 50-year-olds. I mean, some of them were like 60 years old, these dudes that I'm hanging out with, and I'm like 18 years old. There's no one that intimidates me. These guys, like, and even then I was ballsy to them too. I would talk back. I would steal things, I would steal their stuff because they stole mine. Like I was an absolute terror, and I was with people that will actually kill me. There is not a single situation in a boardroom that you can tell me, whether it's constructive criticism, which I actually very much appreciate, or a task that you need to get done that I'm not afraid to tackle. And I'd say that it's probably from situations like that, and I don't say this all lightly. I'm not telling you this because it's like, I guess it is kind of funny now. To me, it is. Because yes, it's tragic. And if you're going through things like that, don't think that I find it hilarious at all. I went through years and years of therapy to navigate making sure that it did not affect me in my day-to-day life negatively, and that I could use those skills to move on. But I would have never been able to use those skills like I do now if I didn't deal with the emotional aspect that, obviously you're going to have emotional repercussions for going through things like this. I've done cognitive behavioral therapy. I wound up with an eating disorder for years that I wound up in therapy for. I mean, you name it. And now I have a beautiful husband. I have a beautiful life. I have wonderful dogs that I absolutely adore, and cats that are assholes that I love to pieces. And I have structure in my life and discipline, and I eat well, and I feed my body what it needs. And I wake up in the morning to make sure that I go to the gym, and I take the day off from the gym when I know that I need it. And I work really hard, and I have compassion for other people. And more so, I think, than most. I think I'm a little bit more intense than most, but I'm very grateful for it. If you or anyone that you know ever wants to reach out and needs help, or is ever, just even if you related, I'd love to hear about it, because there's not too many people that I know that relate to those experiences. Um, that have actually made something of their lives. And I think we don't hear about it because oftentimes people don't get out of it. And I'm very grateful that I got out of it and did the work to repair myself to be the best version of myself possible. And I work on that every single day. And my job gives me the ability to translate it and help other people however I can every single day. So that is a little bit of the storytelling time for today. I I don't know. I don't know the structure of all of this. I know that like TikToks are supposed to be like you have some hook and some opening and some this and so. I have no idea. I know that there's some pretty cool stories. There's some pretty cool stuff that I can share with you, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. In the meantime, I originally wanted this to just be like a business thing. I wanted it to be talking about my daily visits to dealerships, and I still want to do that. But I realized like there's another aspect that is so significant that I can share with you. And hopefully it can resonate with someone and it can help other people. And it's also extremely entertaining. I mean, just to be really clear, some of these stories are just absolute insanity. And I'm going to go over being held hostage with you at another point in time. I have another really cool story where I decided to get with a skinhead when I was 19 years old and he was 38. And like skinhead, like did the chants and did all the things. And mind you, I'm not racist at all. This guy was just very good looking. And I was like, oh, sign me up. And I had to leave him while he was sleeping. I mean, there's like some crazy, crazy, crazy stories. And you'd never think with the life that I live today that was me. It just would never even occur. And I get to translate it and make it useful in my day-to-day life. So those are some of the things I want to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow, like, share, do all the things. I'm having help doing all of the things like the Spotify's and the YouTubes, and we're doing a different structure in the video. And apparently I can't have windows behind me. So I need to figure out like a different setting for the studio tomorrow, which I'm not super excited about. That's another thing. I'm restructuring this whole thing. I like the view. And I wish my picture was showing a little bit, right? But I like the view. I think this is a cute little setup, but apparently I need to be the window needs to be facing a different way for lighting, and we're going to make all of those changes. So we'll figure it out. We'll have fun together. You guys, please, the fine print, Tiffany Fine. What are we on YouTube? Is the Fine Print Podcast 1.0. It is on Instagram, just the fine print. It is on TikTok, just the fine print. I'm trying to think. I don't even know if I have it anywhere else. I think that's all. And then you can always follow me on LinkedIn. That's everywhere. And I'm on Facebook personally, but I don't think much is going to be up there. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. Have a good night.